mercenaries, really, that's the double M. Born baller, baby boy, I be above the rim.
What's good, family? It's your boy Just Blaze, host of the best NBA pod in the game, Above the Rim. Keep it locked each week and join myself and a special guest as we tackle the latest rumblings in the league. If it's happening in the NBA, you know I got you covered. Make sure you subscribe on all platforms and leave that 5-star review. Let's get it.
Your team is trying to cool you off here, but years ago, you were denied by a young woman who told you to come back when you were an all-star. Is there anything you'd like to say to anybody on TNT right now?
I mean, she denied me back then, so why go with her again? So I have to pass that and move on to the next one.
You've got the mic. Anything you'd like to say?
Trust the process.
Thanks, Joel.
Oh, did he just turn Riri down on national?
Yes, he did.
What?
In your face in the third quarter, what did you make of the whole incident?
I mean, first of all, he's a nobody, so.
Talk about it.
You are now tuned in to Above the Rim. Hoops talk for the streets.
Family, what's good? Welcome back to another edition of Above the Rim. Hoops talk for the streets. You already know how we do. Brought to you as always. It's your host, Justin, aka Just Blaze. Family, you know the drill. To get in contact with me, you can always hit me up and follow me on Twitter at JustBlaze_513. IG JustBlaze513 on Facebook. Search Above the Rim Podcast. Email the show as well. Above the Rim NBA Podcast at gmail.com. Tap in and leave the family a voicemail. Talk about it. Line is always open. 908-718-1592. Call in. Talk your shit. Send the family a voicemail. You want to scream at Reem. You want to scream at Domo. That's how we do it. Make sure you call in. Cop your merch. New colors, new flavors. I appreciate the love, family. Link is in my bio. All social media, easy to find. Support the show. I appreciate it as always. And joining me this week, the trifecta is back in the building once again for the streets. Next to me, friend of the show, Apologetic Reem, a.k.a. 3 to the Domo Reem, a.k.a. he might snuff THT if he ever saw him, Reem. Remo, what's good, my brother? How you living?
I'm back.
That's what I'm talking about. Make sure you go follow him at Rich Strez on IG. Let's Talk Hoops TV on Twitter, where Reem has been very active talking this shit, Remo. You've been wilding.
I don't care. I want smoke. I said this, right?
You did.
I want smoke. Thank you for having me.
Of course. That's what I'm talking about. And joining us remotely, man. Should have been in studio, but we gonna let that slide because my son is hurt. My boy is down and out right now. Domo, a.k.a. Stretch, a.k.a. T-Mac Main. What's good, my brother? How you doing?
Man, I'm on the IL list right now, bro. I'm just trying to make it. I'm just trying to make it till tomorrow, man. Go to this appointment and get this issue taken care of, man, because your boy is in pain.
That's what I'm talking about, man. I feel you, my brother. We giving you well wishes. Yeah,
man. You know I still had to come through and show my love, man.
Of course, my brother. Well,
I was like, I'm gonna thug it out for this one.
Yeah, man. The streets are gonna give you well wishes, and you're gonna be back to normal soon, my brother. So family, let's get right into this episode. My apologies, I haven't had an episode in like a week and a half, almost 2 weeks or whatever. Couple of things that's happening, but that's why I brought the family back in, the trifecta for the next episode. We got a couple of things to discuss, man. First on the docket this week, the battle of the big men. We gotta start. Joel Embiid versus Nikola Jokic. Fellas, we gotta start off talking about probably the two most dominant big men in the game right now. The East and West players of the month. Jokic had a 16-game January. He went 11-5. He had averaged 26, 13, and 9. Joel Embiid, 14 games in January. Team went 11-3, averaged 34, 10, and 5. Joel is second in the league in scoring right now. First in free throws made. Nuggets are 6th in the West. 76ers are currently 3rd in the East. That could flip-flop any day, but they are playing excellent right now. Joke on the season is giving you 25, 13, and 7. Joel Embiid is giving you 29, 10, and 4. Fellas, we got to have this big man discussion. Domo, I'm going to start with you, man. If you had one center for an NBA Finals run, got Joker, got Embiid on the table. Who are you taking, my brother, and why? Talk to me.
I'm gonna trust the process, man. You know, not being biased or nothing. You know, I like Joker. Like, I like what he brings to the table, but you know, I'm going with Embiid. He's more athletic, more aggressive than Joker, and Embiid has gotten better with passing out the double teams. It just looks like Embiid has finally figured it out when it comes to impacting the game and the ways and impacting the game in ways that translate to wins.
Mm-hmm. He definitely.
You know, I think.
Go ahead.
I think they could possibly, get to the. I mean, they're second in the league right now without Ben Simmons on the roster.
They
like,
third in the East right now.
They third.
Third in the East right now. Yeah.
But they're not too far from first.
Nah, they only 2 games back right now.
And that's without Ben Simmons. So that just goes to show you right there how much of an impact a healthy Embiid is. Joker ain't no knock on Joker or nothing like that. But they what 6th or 7th in the West
Sixth
right now.
In the West right now. The Nuggets are, but they have been playing better as of late. Their January has been really good. They're, I believe, had the second or third best record in January, and they moved up in the standings because they were 8th or 9th. So they have been playing much better as late, and this is why Jokic got that. In my opinion, I think Jokic doesn't really do too well against the more athletic, dominant kind of bigs, because as we've seen in the past, when they played the Lakers in the Western Conference Finals, AD was dominating them. That ain't gonna fly with Embiid. Embiid gonna give it right. He gonna reciprocate that right back. It is true, but remember, Embiid did have his his playoff battles where he didn't perform up to par, but then he was also kind of hurt too, also as well. But let me pivot off to Reem. Talk to me. You got both of these bigs on the table. 2 best bigs in the game right now. Embiid, Joker. Who you taking right now for finals run, brother?
It's a hard decision with these two because Joker, he kind of does a little bit of everything on the court. He pass a little bit, defend a little bit, scores at times if needed. But I just think Embiid, his stamp that he puts on the game is more dominant. Where I feel the shift changing when he's in a zone versus Joker keeps you afloat. He does little cute things. But when it comes to I want to get the ball and shove it down your throat, pause. I feel that coming from Embiid. I don't really feel that from Joker. And sometimes with physicality, you kind of could get Joker out of the game.
Yeah, but if you could be a little bit more physical with him, you could. I get what you're saying. I like what you said. I want to touch on that. You said the feel that you get when you see Embiid playing. I like that because I agree with you on that. I feel like that's why I'm also going with Joel Embiid if I had a choice between the two right now. Because of his play on both ends and the feel, like you said, I feel like Embiid's buckets are a little bit more impactful than Joker's buckets throughout the game. And throughout this season, I would say. And I mean, this has been going on for a couple of years right now. But if you're talking right now, currently, my personal opinion, I feel like Embiid's buckets are a lot more impactful than Joker right now. And the way the offense is run around both of these guys, so it's really hard to choose. You can't say one gets more touches than the other because
not really. Because Joker does more with the ball. As far as getting others in.
But Embiid has been increasing his on-ball play. He's been taking up the floor a few times now.
Yeah, but he's not really known for that. Like, Joker's
that's
known.
a bonus.
Yeah. But,
And also...
Yeah.
Very.
No, Joker's been on a diet. It's no barbecue chicken for him.
It's Slim Joker right now,
Embiid, he licking the bones and he got grease on his hand and everything. He eating people alive. He made AD look like a baby.
Yeah, he did. Listen.
AD played good, but he made him look like who was the superior one.
Embiid was looking like a damn monster in that game against
like a beast.
Right. And to piggyback off of what you said, just with Embiid being more impactful, not only is it more impactful, like from the things that he do, like his buckets, his defense, is not only is it impactful, it's intimidating. Like when he dunks, he dunking it on you. When he blocks you, you gonna be like, dang, I don't want to come back in there to get my shot sent like that. Joker block you. It's like
It's a tip block.
You know,
it's like
the only thing Joker could do to shut down the team is, or maybe pop a freaking logo 3. You know, like that's not really, you know what I mean?
And I'm gonna be honest here. As a big, Joel Embiid is, Jokic is obviously not known for his defense. And, you know, it can be borderline sus at times, his defense. And if you looked at it, look no further than last year in the playoffs when my boy CP3 came in there and swept him up in the playoffs. Why? Swept him up a lot because they couldn't handle that pick and roll coverage. They were doing a lot of that drop coverage where sometimes they had to switch, or maybe Jokic would drop back and CP was eating that up with mid-ranges. Now, a lot of players can't do that, or every player in the league can't do that, but it goes to show that you can game plan strategically for Jokic, and you can wear him out a little bit in that way, even though he'll still get his numbers. See, the thing is, people fall in love with these numbers so much with these two guys, right? Like, both of their numbers are sexy, and it's going to be sexy no matter what, every single year throughout the entire game. But if you have Jokic by himself, which you kind of have right now, both of these guys have their second in command hurt, basically, pretty much. Does having Joker on your team guarantee you anything? Does it guarantee you wins? How far does it guarantee your team to go in the season?
It's a couple of those teams in the West where they always have good seasons, but I don't feel that the impact of the season translates to the playoffs. Like, and his team is one of them because they got swept up by I think Portland a couple of years ago, and they were like what 1 or 2 in the West that year, and they lost. They could, like, I don't feel that impact, that same impact where, you know what, I'm in for a big game because I know Joker's going to play both sides.
But Joker is always due for a big game. Like, the numbers are always going to be...
It's always going to be
28, 13, 8.
But it's when those buckets come. Impactfulness is what I speak on.
And I know people love to fall in love with numbers as a whole. But I always say I'm always a big proponent over impact over stats. And to me personally, even though the margin is pretty close between these two, I guess we can definitely definitively say the two best centers in the game right now. I would, yes, definitely the two best centers in the game right now. So with that being said, it's very marginal with who you would choose. It's really all about what you prefer. Like, some people prefer more dominant impact on the defensive side with Joel Embiid because, like Domo said, it is more intimidating when Embiid is down there, clearly, than when the Joker's down there. But the Joker gives you a little bit more on offense in a different way because he's still probably the best passing big in the game. Maybe all time, or was that a stretch?
No, all time is a stretch. You still got Sabonis.
Some people call him better than Sabonis.
Sabonis.
I got C. Webber
better than Sabonis. I don't know about that.
Some people have. Top.
Some casuals.
Well, you know, a lot of them didn't really see Sabonis on the Blazers. They saw old Sabonis too. You know, there's a lot of recency bias going on with that, but Sabonis is clearly
he's up there,
at the top of the list. Yeah,
he's up there.
He's definitely up there.
He definitely top 5.
Yeah, he's definitely top 5. One can be made for top 3 too. I wouldn't be mad at anyone for going there also. But so MVP votes right now, right? Do you guys, Reem, I'm gonna start with you. Do you have Embiid over Jokic or Jokic over Embiid right now in the current MVP rankings, in your MVP rankings?
If they do the way that they usually rate it as far as team wins and all of that, Embiid got to be above Joker at this point in time.
The record is better. Because
I know they're going to say a lot of people's missing from the Nuggets, but he's missing a complete all-star and playing with a bunch of little kids. And I don't know what the hell happened to my boy Melo 2.0. Tobias just fell off.
He been decent, though. He been decent.
They're not paying him for decent.
Yeah, that's true.
And Embiid is dragging all that dead weight, and they winning.
That is a fact. While we're here on the 76ers, though, I do want to give a shout out to my man Tyrese Maxey, fellas.
You took me. That's the dude I wanted to talk about.
Oh, my bad. I wanted to give
I'm glad you brought him up.
Yeah, I wanted to give him a shout out, man, because my man has been excellent this season, and he's not even on the lowest of keys. He's making Ben Simmons very expendable right now. When we go through, I'm looking at the rosters. I talked about it last episode. I'm like, listen, I would low-key lower my asking price for Ben Simmons just to get him off the books and to get me some help that we need right now on the perimeter, because I wouldn't let this season go, this quality MVP caliber Joel Embiid season, go to waste and not trade Ben Simmons by the deadline. Because when you look at Maxey right now, he's taking over that point guard spot, and I feel like it's his to lose right now. He's been excellent. I watch a lot of these 76ers games, and Maxey is confident. He's a confident young piece, second year in the league. I forgot how much he's averaging right now. I think it's 16 for the year, 16 and 4 he's averaging for the year. And you can see game after game, he's gotten so much more confident. And I got to give a shout out to Maxey. You a fan of him too, Domo?
Yes, I am, and he's the reason why I'm kind of pissed off at Philly right now, because it's time to shop Ben Simmons, man. It's not working. It's clearly Embiid's team, and Maxey is this. When I looked at the stats, Maxey, like you said, he's averaging almost 17 points.
Yeah, 6 for him. Mm-hmm.
Not as much rebounds as Simmons is gonna make. Was getting.
He's a different kind of player. So he brings differently. Mm-hmm. Right.
But he's getting assists. He's averaging about 5 assists, and he's getting way less turnovers than Ben Simmons was. Ben Simmons was averaging 14 points last season. 14 points, 7 rebounds, and 6 assists with 3 turnovers. Mm-hmm. And Maxey is more reliable at the line, and he ain't scared to go into the paint at all.
Yeah, and he's not
and he can get you he's gonna take threes. He gets you 1 3 a game. That's more than Simmons will get you in a season. So like you said, I think it's time for Philly to. Daryl Morey needs to put his foot down and get rid of this guy Simmons and get what you can get for him, man. Because the time is now. You got to take advantage of a healthy Embiid, because we know Embiid is injury prone, and you may not get good years out of Embiid like you're getting right now. So they need to make a move and not let Simmons, punk them by sitting out and thinking that because to me, he's not valuable at all. Like, I just don't like this guy.
Crazy. I wouldn't say
he just ain't it, man.
He's still all-star worthy. He's still all NBA caliber worthy, but he just has to really fine-tune his way and really learn how to fit in properly with the players around him. Properly.
If you can't be effective in the fourth quarter, you are a non-factor.
I mean,
and he's a non-factor to me.
I mean, I ain't mad at that. Well, the 76ers.
I'm not gonna go that far.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna go that far, Dom. I know you got heat for Ben Simmons, right? Because you always.
I got smoke. I got smoke.
Join Twitter.
Yeah, exactly. I know you got smoke for, but we'll see what type of package they get back, man. We'll see. Moving on, man. Let's talk about the Brooklyn Nets, man. We gotta talk about the home team right now, fellas, because they've been going through some troubles right now. Got to talk a little bit about James Harden. KD has been out now. It's been a couple of weeks. Probably still has a couple more to go. They said probably right after All-Star break, he may come back, or maybe a week or two after. The Nets have lost 6 in a row, 2-7 since KD's injury, and now 6 in the East. 5-10 without KD this season. James Harden had a rather interesting game last night playing against the Sacramento Kings. They lost to 4 points, 8 rebounds, 12 assists, 6 turnovers, shot 2 for 11. Fellas, do the Nets have a James Harden problem? Reem, I'm going to start with you first. There have been rumblings about James Harden possibly moving on to the 76ers. They say he's been looking over there. They said, he may be in contact with Daryl Morey. No tampering, but
collusion.
Maybe some collusion going on. Is it inevitable for James Harden to leave Brooklyn this season, or maybe is he looking a little frustrated? What are your thoughts on James Harden in Brooklyn right now with all of these rumblings going on?
Yo, he's the biggest crybaby that we got in the NBA as a star. He didn't play with some of the best talent out of all of them, other than maybe Westbrook. And he's done the same results. He's still, he's 10 games short of what Westbrook played. Turnovers as high as the sky.
Yeah, he's leading the league in turnovers. Him and Westbrook.
Something ain't right. And then they saying reports that he just don't like the city. Is it the strip club thing? Because I damn sure know they ain't got no dope ass strip clubs in Philly.
Oh yeah, really?
That ain't gonna happen. You gonna live in Jersey? You might as well live in. Like, you got to figure it out. I'm tired of the excuses with him. First, it was the free throws, and just show up and play.
Speaking of that you brought that up, did you see what he said recently after they played the Suns? He said, at this point, you can't touch nobody defensively. He said, or it'll be 2 free throws. The irony of James Harden saying that.
You mean you can't dribble and hook nobody without it being... Come on, man. I'm tired of him. They need to just ship him out. And what's messed up is he coming over here with all these rules and criterias and Kyrie not playing. And then my boy KD done already signed the extension. Like, y'all here to play ball, you here to look cute. James Harden, you had a lot of chances, my brother.
So do you think James Harden has a right to be frustrated with Kyrie being a part-time player, KD being out now, him apparently having to shoulder the load with the young pieces on the Nets?
He's a superstar.
Yes, of the highest order.
I'm going to give you a perfect example before I give up, Mike. CP3 went to OKC and did not cry. He got a team that was supposed to do nothing into the playoffs. Was the perfect vet. And guess what? Was rewarded for that. Moved on, got extra money. James, CP3 didn't have none of the talent that's on this Nets team around him. Man up, bro.
Tough words from Remo. Domo, talk to me. How you feeling about James Harden right now? And is it inevitable for him to leave Brooklyn? Is this the last year?
I mean, after KD left the situation he was in Golden State, I mean, anything is possible. You know,
it's very possible.
So, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if he was to leave, but then that just shows me that, you know, he's a quitter. You know, you don't sit there and thug it out. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta look at the bigger picture. Like, all 3 of y'all haven't really played that much games together.
No,
and when it's just one of y'all, when it's just one of them there, because, you know, he's always going to be present.
Of course.
And I'm going to talk about that. That's a whole other subject. Him being present in itself, that's a whole other subject. I'm going to get to that in a second. But when Harden is always going to be present. You know, he's the more reliable out of the 3.
Out of the 3, the most constant.
Yeah, but if you go show up and be pouting, I don't get it.
Yeah, well,
I'm gonna touch on that. I feel, you know, like when he's either with Kyrie or KD, they win games. When KD was there, they were just in the first spot. So him complaining doesn't really make sense to me because, unfortunately, y'all just going through it right now. Y'all going through the emotions. You can't handle a little adversity because, when KD comes back, you know what time it is.
See that, and I agree with you. That's one of my issues with him is that there shouldn't be any bitching right now. It's just a little adversity. It's the dog days of January. A lot of people go through shit throughout a season. There's going to be ups and downs. There's going to be highs and lows throughout the season. And listen, I'm going to be honest if nobody want to say it. Harden is low-key lazy. My son is lazy. He looks lazy on the court. The body language I don't really particularly care for. To me, he can show more effort. I mean, he's still phenomenal. What is he? 22-11, 22-8-11. The numbers still look sexy. Just like Jokic. They're always going to look nice, but I'm looking at body language. I'm looking at energy. I'm looking at attention to detail. He turns the ball over a lot.
He looks lackadaisical out there. He really does.
Passes. If y'all see these bounce passes that James Harden be throwing, them shits is lazy as fuck. Lazy ass bounce passes. And I'm like, yo, fam, you can't. First of all, I don't know if he's pointing a finger or anybody. I'm not saying that he's doing that because nobody has said anything publicly, but he does visibly look a little frustrated. Kyrie, we know it might be a little issue with him being a part-time player, but I feel like, they kind of knew that a little bit. Not knew the part-time part, but they knew it might be an issue going into this season with this whole vaccine mandate with Kyrie. So I feel like he should have known already that, listen, I'm going to have to take this team on the back and really embrace the adversity. I don't feel like James is embracing the adversity right now because shit happens in a season. And it's not the playoffs yet.
Right.
This shit ain't...
And you know what else? Just? I think... You know what I think is really affecting him? I think it's the team that's surrounded around him is what's affecting him.
Not enough talent on this Nets team now?
No, I'm not saying it's not enough talent, but it's the type of talent they have. It's not like back in Houston where he had a bunch of shooters and the aerial assault that he could just throw it up to. It's not like that.
But see, with you saying that's the problem though, because you see in Houston, fellas, the team was all catered to his strengths. This is one of the first few teams he's had where it's not catered to his strengths. You have to adapt your game, Reem.
But it's not his team.
And that's what I'm getting to. That's why I feel like, yo, stop your crying, get in the gym, work on some new stuff on your craft, and get better until everybody is available. You know what I mean? But if you're gonna sit there, this is the wrong city to be here crying. If you're gonna be here crying, just like Julius Randle. If you're not gonna be here crying, get us out of here. This ain't the city for you.
It's the worst city. So, Reem, do you feel like James Harden's heart is in the right place this season in Brooklyn?
I don't think he's here to actually win the chip. He want to play with some friends.
Nah.
So look at it like this. The reason I say that is because they're not in a bad position.
Not at all.
All he has to his post game comments be like, listen, we just trying to stay afloat and get healthy. We already know what this team looks like. Come playoff time will be a problem. That's it.
What happened to all of the scary hours talk that he was talking about this whole time? Like, keep the same energy. Like, shit happens. Once you guys are healthy, you guys are a problem. And I don't think there's a team in the East that could really beat y'all toe to toe with everybody healthy on that team. So
home court advantage or not, that's why it's kind of weird to me. Like, why are you even complaining?
Yeah, which means, and the fact that there are rumblings of him complaining means to me, and what I'm thinking, maybe putting on my thinking cap on, I think maybe coming here, maybe was always temporary for James Harden. I think when he left Houston, there weren't too many suitors on the docket. Remember how he left Houston? He wanted to be out. He came in fat, out of shape, and he was really asking his way out. And the KD called him and was like, yo, we can make some room for you over here. And I think maybe the pitch to James Harden to come here was like, yo, come here next couple of years, try it out.
Get up out of here.
And to see how you feel about it. Let's try it out for 2 years, see how far we can go, 2-3 years, and then you make your decision. I think right now is what they probably always were planning to do is at the end of the season, if we don't win a chip in these 2 years, I might have to look elsewhere.
I personally think his issue might be with the coaching. He's being coached by a point guard. And the way he turns over the ball is probably so disappointing in Nash. Like, this is this is not candy. This is gold. And to see him top of the league turn over remember, people underlook this for whatever reason. They be on Westbrook ass. Those two players alone have been the leaders in turnovers for the last 4 years.
Yes. Probably more than that.
2 and 2. They both had them separately for the last 4 years. So if you didn't take nothing that you learned from Houston and lead that in Houston, it was the turnovers. So now you're losing, but you're the top of the heap with that. You gotta look at the mirror for that. Exactly.
And to me, I'm just not liking the body language that I've been seeing lately. And I know he can be frustrated. It's always it's okay to be frustrated throughout the season, but brother still got a hoop, man. And I know he may be maybe a little upset about the Kyrie issue that he can only play in away games, but you see the deal when Kyrie is there. I mean, Kyrie's still nasty. Kyrie's still the same Kyrie.
Dirty.
Still giving you 23 a night. Oh, you only played 10 games this season. So so let me ask you fellas, do you feel like the Nets can still win a title this season with a part-time Kyrie?
Of course.
You think they
And
can?
here's why. Of course, because they almost made the finals last year if KD's shoe size was a foot size smaller. With a hobbled Harden.
A hobbled Harden.
Now Harden,
Kyrie out.
Right. So Harden is healthy. That's all you need. And then you got Kyrie at the away games. It's impossible for them to lose.
I don't know.
Let me not say impossible, but they can easily get a game on the road.
But they could easily give up a game at home, and then they might need to make on the road.
Well, Kyrie can get you all of them road games.
But he hasn't shown that now. They lost like the last 3.
Yeah, they lost on a 6-game losing streak right now. Even what he has been.
Kyrie been on the road with them.
Yeah, and they actually can't give up a game in Brooklyn because, as we know, the Barclays home court advantage is really not that crazy. I mean, it's not that crazy. So a road team could come up in here and win a game in the Barclays.
No, but Damo, what I'm saying is if they
that's just me putting my faith in KD, man.
That's if
I don't think KD.
But that's if he risks it. If he risks it to come back, like you don't know what that situation gonna look like. You're still missing Joe Harris too.
Joe Harris needs to come back.
The problem is the man that we spoke about before is Embiid will eat everybody in there food.
See, so who are the Nets? Who y'all feel like is the Nets' biggest competition right now or the toughest competition right now for the Nets in the playoffs? Who's one team that you think can beat them? Everybody healthy.
Miami.
I would go Miami as well. Domo, any team?
I'm gonna say Philly. Because the wild card right now for them to get to the finals for me is Tyrese Maxey. So it's all depending on how great he played.
Oh,
but we know Embiid is gonna dominate.
Slow down, bro. I get it. Maxey playing good, but he ain't the key.
You gonna have to be guarding Kyrie in that kind of series.
He got Kyrie or Harden. He got to choose one to get cooked up by.
Yeah, but it's not like Philly is full on deep. They got people that could defend. They got Thibault over there. He ain't no slouch.
But he don't have to guard one or the other is what I'm saying.
Well, they're gonna have the Nets gonna have an issue guarding Embiid, obviously, clearly, because you're gonna have to put Claxton or Aldridge.
Thibault is gonna be guarding probably KD.
Yeah, or Tobias.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, Tobias is definitely getting work.
Right, he get 50.
Thibault's probably gonna have to guard KD and
there's a mismatch.
Yeah, well, Danny Green will have to guard Embiid. I mean Harden.
Out of here. I'm out of here.
Danny Buckets Green.
His knees is done.
Oh man, that'd be funny. Yeah, they're going to be interesting. I don't know, because he may have to be part-time Kyrie for the rest of the season, because I don't see them taking that mandate off. I don't see them lifting it.
Yo, for me personally, the Nets, they need to pay that fine, man.
It's not crazy.
It's not that crazy.
Yeah, it's like 5,000.
Yeah.
They got the bread.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie for that shit too.
Word.
I don't know.
I'm about to go on Flatbush, man, and be like, yeah, with the poster, man, pay the fine, man. Let my boy play.
Nah, for real, man. So they definitely need it in these next couple of games, because it looks like they're losing their chemistry. Even though they do have a lot of young pieces playing right now, they gotta get together, because the East could be slipping away, man. The East is a bloodbath. Yeah, so fellas, I want to also pivot and discuss a team or a player that each one of us have been disappointed in this season. Reem, I'm gonna start with you on this one. Talk to me about any team, any player that you've been disappointed in this season. Who's pissed you off a little bit this season?
I'm real pissed. Oh, I've been waiting to talk about it. I'm real pissed off at the New Orleans Trail Blazers.
Reem about to go on his bag.
Really pissed off. They're 21 and 31, right?
My goodness.
They still haven't made a decision on, are we going to keep Dame and trade the rest? Or trade the rest and keep Dame? Like, I don't know what they're going to do. They haven't made a decision. They still got all these little guards. You got a new head coach with a worse position in the West.
I feel bad for Chauncey right now.
I feel bad. And then you've made the playoffs for the last 10 years.
They ain't making it this year.
If you ain't making it this year, why are you not selling the house?
As in who? As in both of them? CJ and Dame?
Everybody.
Oh, whoa.
You're not making
both.
You have two max stars that you're not making the playoffs with. They've had about 6 years together.
One gotta go.
With the same result.
Yeah.
Dame is not gonna want to go through a rebuild, neither is CJ. Get as much ass as you can get back and build around Little and Anthony Simons.
I don't know if those two are good enough to build around, though. First of all, remember, you had smoke for Simons.
That's what you building around. That's what you building around. You might as well sell the whole franchise.
You know what's crazy? His average has skyrocketed this year. But
yes, he's been playing great.
I've seen what he looks like without Dame. and without CJ, right?
Excellent.
His numbers compared to a Jalen Green, they building around Jalen Green.
True.
They're years out.
True.
Why
Hold
not?
up, Reem, didn't you used to have smoke assignments?
Plenty.
No, I did. But you know, you have it's a new year and I have growth.
Apologetic Reem.
But you know, I like the mindset he's coming in as. You know, that's the number one player, and he's been like proven. Give him the rock.
He's been shifty though. He's been very aggressive, hungry, and I like what I've seen from him.
I like it, and they're both on cheap contracts. So if you want to spend
I don't know about little though. I don't know, but to build around. I mean, he's a solid young piece.
He's an asset piece.
Yeah, he is. So you saying for them to trade both Dame and CJ?
And
not one or the other?
And what's the other? Nurkic.
Nurkic got it. Nurkic, I would trade.
Get rid of all of them.
I'm keeping Dame.
Why?
Because that's my building block. I can't give my fans nothing.
Bro.
You'd be giving them absolutely nothing.
So you're going to pay Dame 40-something a year.
If he's the one star on my team, and maybe I could get some complimentary pieces. Listen, I like Ben Simmons over there. I still don't know why they ain't pull that trigger. Maybe it's the 76ers' fault.
Less points, less effectiveness. They're not going anywhere.
See,
they brought Tony Snell.
Yeah, I mean, they made some terrible.
What is that?
They were moving in the wrong direction, but I feel like with Chauncey there, with Dame, those are two building blocks that you can still push up on.
As you say that, you give Chauncey a whole new scripture to run. Let him run with his young guys and kind of do what OKC is doing. Build a confidence in these guys.
You have to lose a couple of years, though.
And build up assets. They can, because they're about to miss the playoffs right now.
Oh, they're 100% missing the playoffs.
They know where
and which is, I mean, Dame, he's probably on a sabbatical right now. Dame taking some PTO. I know he's hurt right now, but he's taking a little extra long. I don't think he's coming back this season.
He said if we're not going to try to make the playoffs, it doesn't make no sense.
Oh, yeah, he did say that.
Right?
Going into the bubble. Yep.
Get him out of here. Let him go somewhere. And you could get a boatload for Dame if he don't play again this season. Because he looked like shit already this season.
Yeah.
CJ's always been hurt.
I would honestly just take the best package that I can get for
all of them
for CJ.
All of them.
So I'm gonna go with a team or a player that I've been disappointed with this season, and I'm not gonna lie to you fellas. One team that's really pissed me off this season is the Washington Wizards.
Ooh.
The Washington, I'm not gonna lie. The Washington Wizards really, there's a couple of teams that pissed me off, but the Washington Wizards in particular. Just, a month or two ago, maybe a month and a half ago, the Wizards were first in the East.
Yeah.
First in the East, fellas. Right now, what are they? They either 10th right now in the East.
Yeah.
10th in the East. Ever since Kyle Kuzma put on that damn pink sweater. That long ass pink sweater.
Yeah.
That they was killing him with. I don't know what that Rich Young mock sweater was. Nah, it ain't Rich Young. I don't know what that mock sweater was that he had on. It was not rocking. Actually, they're 11th in the East. My bad. 11th in the East right now, the Washington Wizards. They're just ridiculous to me. I haven't been more disappointed in the team because coming into the season, I like their roster.
A lot of high expectations.
Expectations. They play going. Hold on, Dama. Going into the season, they had a good chemistry, good camaraderie. I hearing rumblings now about they don't like Spencer Dinwiddie. that they about to move. They about to move Spencer Dinwiddie, aka the 70s player. I don't like what I'm hearing out of the Wizards right now. Bradley Beal, he started the season off great, phenomenal. Right now, he looking like
they talking about moving him.
He fading away. Kuzma has been the best player on the team in the past couple of weeks. Montrez was looking great to start the season. He's calming down. You heard about they had a scuffle in the locker room with KCP and Montrez. They said they fought in the locker room. I'm disappointed in these Wizards. I'm low-key disgusted.
Shout out to the Wizards, though. They stay with a good locker room fight.
They always got a locker room scuffle in there.
Always got that drama. My thing is with them is I'm confused because you give the bag to freaking Gafford and then you freaking don't give him no minutes. I don't understand that.
And now he's benched now for Thomas Bryant coming back in now.
Yeah, Thomas Bryant is back, so it's like they rotate in the three. Harold, Gafford, and freaking Gafford. Gafford, Harold, and Bryant. I don't understand what they doing. And who's the coach? Is Scotty Brooks, right?
Nah, Unseld.
Unseld?
Yeah,
okay.
Unseld Jr. Yeah.
I'm
Scotty
about
Brooks
to say.
They have to go Scotty Brooks. But you know what's also crazy with the Wizards, right? That I saw Bertans. Remember Davis Bertans last year, who they gave the bag to? What they gave him? 80 million or 100 million? Something they gave him. This man is the 13th leading scorer on their team, averaging 6 points a night.
Wow.
This is the man that they gave $80 million to last year.
He disappeared off the face of earth.
Shout out to his agent.
Yo, because I remember him in fantasy. He low-key had a nice little fantasy here last year. I remember he was a pickup off the waiver. Bertans. And they got Hachimura. He was out for a long time. Then he just came back and he's, is a little bit of a shell of himself. This team, when you look at their team on paper, it's not a bad team.
No, the problem with this team is the pieces are too repetitive.
Like the centers? Bryant, Gafford, Montrez?
The top 3 positions. Center, power forward, and small forward. Because you got Ruchi Hachimura and Kuz.
And Kuz.
Who's going to play
And Bertans, who also plays the 4.
Who's going to play there? And then
too many.
Who's there too? KCP, Bradley Beal.
KCP. Then you got NATO coming off the bench. Who else they got? Dinwiddie. Why are you forgetting about Dinwiddie? He's starting in the back with Dinwiddie.
Dinwiddie. That's
your boy, Dinwiddie.
He stole a bag. He stole a bag.
Wait, you don't like how he performed? I feel like he's been okay.
He's been terrible.
I think he's been okay this season.
He's been terrible.
Because he is coming off and he's giving you what, 13 and 5.
But he's shooting really bad. Like he's having poor.
But he's always been a bad shooter.
Yeah, he takes some wild shots. He's a lot more confident, I would say. I kind of chalk that up to confidence, I guess. But those guys really, really pissed me off. Domo, who's the team or player that pissed you off this season that you're a little disappointed in, my brother?
Oh man.
Uh-oh.
I mean,
say Miles Turner.
I'm surprised. I was gonna go with the Pacers, but I think I'm just gonna give up on them.
You thought he said they was making the playoffs. By the way, I'm just throwing that out there.
Yo, every time I say they're gonna make the playoffs, they let me down. But the team that let me down, that really disappointed me, is the Atlanta Hawks. Because remember when we did our preseason preview?
Yeah, you was high.
I was very high on them.
Yep.
I was like, nah, they're gonna be top 4.
Yep.
They're gonna make a lot of noise. They're gonna feed off of that, that little energy they got from last season. And I don't know what the hell's going on over there, man. Like, I just really don't. Maybe it's time for them to make some moves, because I just don't understand why they at the bottom of the pack right now. Like, they losing games they should be winning. I'm like, yo, what's going on? They really disappointed me, man. That's one of the teams I picked.
Yeah, and Trae Young.
And for player,
yeah,
I had a player, but we already spoke about him. It was Harden.
That's what you've been disappointed.
But we already spoke about that.
Yeah. And back to your Hawks point. When you look at their numbers across the board, it looks solid. It doesn't look anything crazy. Trae is still averaging typical Trae Young numbers. What is he average? 27 and 9, typical Trae Young numbers. John Collins giving you 16. Clint giving you 11. Kevin Huerter giving you 11. Hunter giving you 12. Bogdan 12. So they have 6 players averaging double figures in scoring. They should be better.
I mean, hopefully, I'm disappointed in them now, but hopefully they could turn it around. Which they have turned it around, because the last 10 games
they've been playing a little bit better.
They're 7-3, and they got Hunter back, which is a big factor for them, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. So hopefully they turn it around, and my disappointment will just fade away. But as of right now, I was disappointed in them. I felt like they should be much higher.
They looking to trade Collins already. I don't get that. They just paid him.
Yeah, well,
he's not the problem.
They were saying that he's saying low-key that he's not utilized correctly.
He's right, though. You can't let Trae do everything. The NBA rules changed up on him, and now he's just trying to figure it out live. Like, go to the next play.
Yeah, they run a lot of pick and rolls for Collins and Trae, for Capella and Trae also. But, they run the entire offense through Trae Young. And they probably need to adapt that. A lot of that.
They need to lose, because they traded my boy.
Cam Reddish?
Yeah,
speaking of Cam Reddish, Tibbs.
No burn.
Damn clown, man. Tibbs, you a clown. You benched my son Kemba. You a clown. Benching my son Kemba. We can talk about you real quick. You bench Kemba, and now you don't want to give Cam Reddish no minutes. No burn off the bench. Come on, Tibbs.
I don't get it.
Clown shit. We're going to talk about this.
Hey, man,
out of here.
I told y'all them niggas is gonna fall back to planet Earth.
Yeah, hold on. Before you get to this, we'll talk about that before we get out of here. Really quick before we move on from the disappointed shit. The Celtics too are another team that has disappointed me. I've been high on the Celtics. Y'all know I was on that JT train. I'm still on the JT train. He's been all right himself, but I'm a little disappointed in the leadership from Jason Tatum because not that the team is in flux. I don't feel like they're in flux. They're not playing the way they should. They're not looking at the chemistry on that team isn't up to par. And they had comments early in the season. Marcus Smart was talking shit saying that our top two players are not passing the rock. And then he said everybody's holding the ball and I can do more. I think when he said that shit early in the season, it was like in the first 10, 15 games.
It broke the chemistry.
Yeah, it broke the chemistry. And then he was like, yeah, we got two young guys, our young guys. And he calling them young guys too. And Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum are the stars of the team. They probably talking to each other like, hold up, why is Smart talking all this shit to them?
Dude?
Yeah, like this guy is talking shit. So they probably was like, hold up, we're not taking that shit from you. And then you trying to say I'm not passing the ball. You saying I'm chucking too on top of it. So I think that kind of like really derailed their season a little bit. And I've been very disappointed. I feel like they to me should be a top 4 team in the East. And they're 9th right now, 9th or 10th. So they're playing for the play-in right now. They're probably going to get there in the play-in. We'll see how they perform then. But I don't know, man. I mean, I'm not one of those guys who say they need to trade Tatum or Jaylen Brown. I know you one of those guys. I hate when you say that, man. I don't feel like they got to get rid of him yet.
It's only 2 factors that's causing them to lose.
They have to?
They have to decide which one they're gonna trade and take a bag for. You get a whole bunch of assets to go around one of these guys.
You mean trade them and not get a star back?
You don't need a star back. Think about it. If they traded one of those guys to say Sacramento, you give me Fox and Buddy, or Harrison Barnes and a Fox.
Not for Tatum, for Brown?
For Brown. Let's say Brown. And you put a Fox, Buddy Hield around Tatum.
I like it though. I'm not bad at it.
I like that.
I like it.
It works. And then you got what you call him? Skywalker, Darkwalker, whatever that guy is.
Ooh.
The center.
I do agree though. You got to move on from one of them because that situation is clearly not working.
I feel like
Tatum is the one you keep though.
What if they just get a point guard that would help them out? A distributing point guard.
That point guard spot been rotating. Remember how the Trailblazers used to rotate that one small forward they could never figure it out. That point guard position, they went from Kyrie. They getting bad karma for the IT.
Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah.
They did IT. Kyrie, Kemba. Now they got Schroeder.
They tried Smart. Smart as a starting point.
Shoot.
I don't know why they have him as a starting point. I don't like those lines because he's trying to start Al Horford. That to me is the problem. But I feel like a facilitating point guard would solve their problems, and it don't have to be a star. It literally could be like a Ricky Rubio or some shit.
I was about to say that. I do like Ricky over there.
It could be. What about Rondo? Shit, bring him back to the Celtics. I wouldn't even be bad at that, even though he's in Cleveland right now helping boys.
He would slap everybody on that team.
Yeah, maybe they need that. Those guys are too mild, man.
Smart is there for, no?
Yeah, but Smart talking too much shit. You can't tell them that they're not passing the rock.
That's bad karma. That team just got bad karma.
Come on, you can't do.
Bring back IT.
Bring back IT, but they do. He's not a facilitator, but they need to bring back somebody. So fellas, let's talk about a team or player that we've been pleasantly surprised with this season. Reem, I'm gonna start with you, man. Give me a player who really impressed you this season and who you want to show some love to, man.
Man, I ain't know nothing about this guy before this season, and he just came back balling. Desmond Bane.
Ooh! Talk about my son, D. Bane.
So right now he's averaging 17, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, and his true shooting percentage is amazing, 58%. 40 plus from the field. And I think from last year's points to this year, he's averaging, I think, 5 more.
I think it's more than that.
Than his last year's average. But it's like his effect on the game. I'm big on effect.
Yes.
Points is okay, but he's one of the go-to guys on that team. Being that team is where it is now as well. And it's like they gave him the green light. So like he's not scared to shoot. He had a bad shooting game the last game. And guess what? Shoot. He still was letting it go. And I don't mind that coming from a guy like that, because it showed me, even by his form alone, you put in the work. So now enjoy the fruits of your labor, young brother.
I agree with you 1,000%. And Bane, to me, I went on Twitter today and I was talking about, because I always give Bane a lot of shout outs, man. Grizzlies is my favorite teams in the league right now. But Bane, he reminds me of a classic 90s two guard, Desmond Bane. He's strong, he's physical, he's got a soft touch, he's effective in the mid-range. He prefers the mid-range, but he can also step out and shoot a three. He's over 40% from three.
I got a name for you. Like a Michael Redd.
Better than that.
Michael Redd is
Michael Redd is a shooter, though. A shooter is a three-point shooter.
But he had a little...
He did have a little step in it. Michael Redd, he could step in and hit a midi.
Comparison.
He could step in and hit a midi. To me, I mean, Michael Redd is no scrub. That's not what I'm saying. But I think low-key, Bane got a little bit more in his package, I think, than Michael Redd. Michael Redd was a better shooter, but if you look at the numbers, Bane is shooting 40% from three, averaging 17 or 18 a night. He can get you 20 at any time. He's patient on both ends, on offense and defense, and he locks up too as well. He's efficient. He could dribble. He could spot up. He could get his own shot. Bane, to me, he's a total package as a two. And I think I went on Twitter and said it earlier too. I think Desmond Bane, they might be top 5 backcourt in the league right now. I'm about to go out on the limb. Say they top 5 backcourts in the league.
And he was talking shit to LeBron.
And he was talking wild shit to LeBron. That's what I'm talking about. So shout out to my man, Bane.
Bane more like a David Wesley, man.
What? Oh my God! Don't get this.
Oh, no.
David Wesley from the Hornets.
David Wesley wasn't no slouch. He wasn't no slouch. Yeah, from the Hornets.
Nah. I'm about to cut your mic down.
Look up his stats.
He wasn't no slouch though. When he was playing next to B Diddy, Baron Davis, he was a nice compliment to him.
It was a good 1-2 combo.
Yeah, he can score.
So him and Josh doing the same thing.
Yeah. I mean that's not a bad comp, but I'm gonna give it to Bane. I like
it. I like his form.
Yeah, son. He definitely worked on he's worked on his game. I'm gonna show some love for me, a guy that I want to shout out that doesn't really get a lot of love on the national airwaves at all, really, on Twitter, really. I'm one of the few dudes who shot him out. But I gotta go with my man Lucius Dort out there in OKC. I gotta show my man some love.
You stay hollering this cat, man.
Now I'm gonna stay hater, but my son Lou Dort, listen, he averages 16 and 4. Listen, he's
you like these dudes with these foreign names, yo.
I call him respect new is what I call him. He had that shit. He had that shit on in the back. Remember in the bubble when they had the different names on the back of their jerseys? He had respect new on the back. So I want to give some love to Lou Dort, man, because he's impressed me this season, averaging 16 and 4. He's upped his game this season from last year again. My pick for most improved player, I think, is him and Bane. To me, is neck and neck for most improved player. I probably would give it to Bane. Also, maybe over Lou Dort. But man, his
overall,
yeah, most improved player this year.
I'm not gonna go there.
I'm going Bane or Dort.
I like Poole.
That's not bad. That's not a bad pick. I don't mind that. Jordan Poole is definitely deserving most improved player. Me personally, I'm going Bane.
Okay.
Bane or Dort, either one. Depending on the end of the season, I'm gonna decide. But right now, they neck and neck. And Dort, man, one of the best defenders in the league. He's up there. Him and Mikal, two of the top perimeter defenders in the league. He's gained a 3-point shot now. One of his deficiencies before was that he couldn't shoot, he couldn't drive, couldn't score.
Go. He went like 0 for 10 one game last year.
Remember also when CP was there in OKC in the bubble and he played against Houston in the playoff series, they was leaving him open. He was guarding Harden the whole time. And so he's definitely worked on that, and I like the improvement out of him because he just had 30 last night. He scored 10 or 15 in overtime. He was busting Luka's ass low key in overtime. So I gotta give a shout out to my man Lou Dort, man, because he's been pleasantly a surprise for me this season. I gotta give him some love. Domo, talk to me. Who's a player that you've been pleasantly surprised with?
Well, for me, it's not who, but again, I got another team, and we're going out west, and I'm gonna give some love to Minnesota, man.
I like what they doing over there.
I like what's going on over there. Right now, they're in the 7th spot. You know, and I expect them to make the playoffs because right behind them we got the Clippers, the Lakers, Trailblazers, Pelicans. I mean, if you can't get in the playoffs with that bottom 4, they gotta be able to make it, and I believe they will because and one of the reasons why is they got a transcendent talent, a generational talent in Ant-Man, which is he looking like he about to be my next favorite player. This dude is phenomenal. Yeah. He dribbled a little too much for me, but you know I think he'll improve. You know, as the years go by, and if they make the playoffs this year, and once he gets that little taste of the playoffs. I think by next year there really be something, you know, a force to be not a force to be reckoned with, but they'll be legit in years to come. If Cat decides to stay and you know play better, because Cat got to do better too, man. I don't know what's going on.
He just made the All-Star.
He's like some games he what?
I say he just made the All-Star team, so being recognized.
Yeah, I mean, you know, some games he look like he checks out though, like he just. Anthony Edwards would be having it going, and then he'd be like, you know what, just give him the ball, let him rock out. But yeah, you got to do your part too, you know. So I need him to step up and be more aggressive, you know, and do him play like he's a top 10 center in the league.
I would be remiss without mentioning one person.
Who that?
Lil Penny.
Who that?
LaMelo, baby.
Oh shit! Oh, my son LaMelo.
Congrats, man. Yo, he's hooping.
He is.
Other than Ja, I think he's like one of the most exciting players to actually watch this year, being in his second year, and his effect on the game. Like they're really having a lot of fun out there. Him and Ja, you could see that they enjoy their teams, and he deserves the flowers. Like they asked him, like, who do you pattern your game after? He was just like, myself.
Yo, big shout out to LaMelo, man. He's been excellent.
He reminds me of Penny Hardaway.
Yeah, I like that. I love that.
You know what else too? I was saying that most improved is definitely Desmond Bain, which I agree. But yo, Miles Bridges can win it too.
Yes, he averaging over 20 this year. He's definitely increased his game. And the Hornets, they was on my league pass. They were top 5 for me on my league pass teams to watch this season.
They definitely one of the most exciting teams to watch.
I'm happy for them, and I'm excited to see what they're gonna do in the playoffs, man. It might be buzzing in Buzz City over there going to the playoffs. It might be solid over there. A couple players that I want to shout out real quick before we move on. Pleasantly surprised with. I gotta show love to my son Gary Trent, man. Lenny Kravitz, I gotta show love to him. We be hating on my boy Gary Trent
the last couple games.
Yeah, Reem is a Trent hater, but my man's been putting averaging 30 for the last 5 games. Don't sleep, man. Stop sleeping on my son. I told you the Blazers, they fucked up by trading Gary Trent, man. Don't sleep on my son. My son Lenny K, I call him the Lenny K of the NBA. Also, Cam Johnson has also impressed me this season. He's been much better on the Phoenix Suns. He's increased his level of play with Crowder being out a couple of games.
He's more consistent.
Yeah, Mikal Bridges as well. And DeJounte Murray, I also got to show him some love.
His average is crazy.
Who? DeJounte?
Yeah.
Yeah, 19, 8, 9, almost a triple-double average.
Calmly, though.
Very calm. Very calm.
And GP too.
Yes. Oh, yes. Sneaky.
He's found a niche, and he's picking stars' pockets. And he's
defense.
I didn't know he was so damn athletic.
Yeah, defense is elite.
Yeah,
defense is elite.
He's a perfect fit for that team.
Yeah, he's. I would like to see second round series Warriors Grizzlies in the second round series.
Oh, that would be sexy. He gives me like a like the Barbosa role.
Coming off the bench,
it's a lot of energy, a lot of defense, and he can finish.
He could score too. He got some hops too.
And they take the leash off him. They let him just run.
That's true. Definitely good shout out with Gary Payton Jr. Gary Payton 2, excuse me. So let's talk about anything we want to get off our chest right here, fellas. Remo, I'm going to start off with you, my brother, because we didn't talk about your boy all episode, and there's no way we could get through this episode without you bringing up your boy.
It would be remiss for me not to talk about
it. It would be terrible if you did it. So talk to me. What you got to get off your chest this episode, my brother?
Man, I'm here to talk about the Lakers. But first, let's start with Frank Vogel. Why does this man still have a job?
He got a long leash.
He's terrible at rotation.
I mean, he did win a title for them, so. I
don't give a shit. It just looks ugly. You keep going to the podium talking about, we on the defense. You don't have defensive players. The key, I had an argument with this punk on Twitter. Don't come back to my page. But the key to a defenseless team, because they can't play defense, is to just outscore everybody. They have the players to do that, but he refused to set up the rotation. My boy is 9th off the bench sometimes. 10th off the bench.
I'll let you finish.
Right? I just don't get the rotations. If you're going to start anybody, because oh God, so upset. All season long, they signed 2 good players. Everybody else been poop.
Stanley Johnson
wasn't on the team. So that they fell into that. Melo and Monk. Everybody else been a failure pickup. Dwight, poop. Jordan, poop. None, we don't even know what he looks like. Ariza looked like he running with a peg leg. he still look hurt or something. Something's not working there. And goddamn THT.
Yo boy, THT.
I can't stand a THT. Like, I just don't get it. Let me go through the numbers for THT. They pay him $30 million. He's averaging 10 points, shooting 24% from the 3-point line, and he's a minus 45 on the court.
Listen, THT, I don't know what's going through his brain for parts of the game. Some of his shots are ill-advised, but I do give him credit. He be trying though.
No, it doesn't look good.
But he tries though. But he tries to make a difference. He does go to the rack. Talk to me before we get off THT, right? How are they? Do you feel like they're utilizing Melo enough, the Lakers and Vogel?
Absolutely not. Because believe it or not, with Melo on the court, he's actually a plus. Like while playing with that unit, he's shooting 39%, averaging 13 in a minimum role. And
very minimal role.
And you're giving these minutes to people like THT and all these other cats. For me, if I'm going to start a starting lineup, it sounds crazy to look at it like defensively or whatever the case is, but like we said, can't play defense. You got Westbrook, you got Monk, Braun, Melo, Davis. Who are you doubling off of? Right now, they starting Stanley Johnson and Avery Bradley.
Well, you doubling off of Westbrook, that group.
But he has the ball. Diving. You cannot help.
That's best case. Well, that may not always be the best because maybe with them turnovers too.
What LA media has done for Westbrook is his role is being retracted as scoring because he's been ashamed because he can't get to the rim or whatever, finish at the rim.
I'm starting to feel bad for Russ a little bit.
But with an offensive unit like that, that's your punch. That's your defense because the other team has to match your scoring output on that. And then you inject the energy with the Stanley Johnsons, Avery Bradley, and then Austin Reeves. And then it stops there. THT sees the bench the whole game.
THT plays a lot.
Too much.
Yeah, he plays a lot. And that's one of my issues with the Lakers is obviously Vogel's rotations are poor. They are terrible. They are poor. Terrible. I don't know what he's seeing throughout the game. It must not be what everyone else is seeing throughout the game because he doesn't really allow players to get the proper rhythm. And then some of the lineups that he puts out are just mismatched. And also, there's no consistency in any of the lineups. Well, he got Russ and Bradley in there. When Rondo was in there, he had Bradley, Russ, and Rondo in there. He got Melo at center. I don't like these Melo at the 5 lineups. I don't know what's going on right there. This shit needs to stop and play one of the centers, but no consistency in these lineups.
See, as a coach, they always tell your men, be prepared to play. You never know when your number's going to be called. If you're going to the pregame or postgame interview and you're saying, we're not going to play Dwight and Jordan together, why would I even come dressed? So if you're telling me in the locker room that Dwight is going to be playing today, send me home.
You mean if you were DeAndre?
Yeah.
Well, he got to be a good teammate. He can't send me home.
Granted, but what I'm saying is the game tells you who should play. If the big man gets into foul trouble and there's another big on the team, you're going to put Melo in because you just decided that you're not going to play both bigs in one night?
I don't know who told Vogel.
That makes sense.
LeBron at center is good. Melo at center is good. LeBron at center, they won a couple of games, but they were mostly against scrub teams.
And getting out rebounded by 20 plus.
Then they getting out rebounded. Like in the playoffs, in the West, who are the teams that they're going to be facing? The Grizzlies, Steven Adams and Triple J. The Suns, Ayton, McGee, Biyombo. Who else? The Jazz, Rudy Gobert. Who else?
Nuggets.
The Nuggets, Jokic. Who else? The Warriors. I mean, Lonely. I mean, he could probably get away with that. But Draymond will probably be guarding him too, also as well. So there's a lot of bigs in the West that you're going to have to deal with. And I don't know. They need to get that off of the playbook, putting Melo or LeBron up there at center.
Those are spot minute type of things.
Yeah.
If you want to stretch your offense, okay, cool. It makes it difficult for the bigs. But if you know that they're going to be playing the majority of the minutes with Melo or LeBron at the 5, like, it doesn't work. It doesn't make sense.
I don't like it. I feel like it's killing the chemistry. And also what I said in a couple of episodes prior, it's the accountability factor with this team also, to me. Some teams I feel like they point the fingers too much at their teammates and surrounding players. The Lakers, they don't point the finger enough to me at each other.
I think Braun has to just come into the locker room, just slap the drink out of somebody's hand. Like, get crazy. Where it was like, listen, this is LA. We demand a certain, you know what I mean? Criteria of play. If not, demand a trade and get out.
I know. Domo, talk to me. What you been seeing about the Lakers? You been annoyed at what they've been giving out? How are they 10th seed right now? First of all, they better make the playoffs. That'll be ridiculous if they don't. But what you been seeing from your boy LeBron? No, that's your boy.
I'm just laughing, bro, because, you know, LeBron always be yapping at the beginning of the season when they get players. And then all of a sudden, now they got a little adversity going. You know, they want to blame Westbrook for everything or Vogel for everything. Honestly, you got to blame LeBron. LeBron is to blame.
For the leadership?
For the construction of this whole team.
And the construction of the team, bro. Like, it's like, what you think was going to happen? When you got two, you can't bring in Westbrook and then you the guy, LeBron is the guy that's going to have the ball in his. Westbrook is not going to be a spot-up shooter.
I got a question for you.
Like, so what you expect?
Go ahead.
All right. As bad as the Lakers are, right? Let's say they make the 7th, 8th, whatever seed they end up, right? And they potentially get healthy. Other than the top 3 seeds, do you see anybody knocking them off in a 7-game series? That's not named the Suns. Who's on top of the West?
Suns, Warriors, and Grizzlies, number 3.
Those 3 teams. Other than that, can you bank your house
that they would take out the Lakers
in 7?
The Jazz, Nuggets, basically. No, I'm not gonna bet that. I'm low key. I would pick the Lakers over any one of those teams. I'm not gonna lie.
Only the top 3 is spooky though.
Yeah. I would be, you 100% right.
No, I agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
If they are,
it's the same. It's like this. It's like the same thing with Brooklyn. Like, you know, they go through a little nasty stretch. And nothing really to complain about when you got everybody healthy. You know what I'm saying? But the problem with the Lakers is that the way they're constructed is not. I don't think they're good. It's championship worthy.
Right now, the way they're constructed, no, they're not championship worthy. And I think to me, they don't have enough guys to do the little things. Every team, and the roles are not clearly set on that team. You see, every other team, every player has a defined role, a distinct role. All of the elite teams, all of the great teams, everybody has a defined role. To me, on the Lakers, there are too many hybrid roles over there, or roles that are not clearly set.
But that's set defined by coaching, though.
Of course, yeah. So I agree.
Who's the 6th man? Melo got 6-man numbers.
Yeah.
But ain't the 6th man.
You got him, or you got Monk. One day you want to start Monk. One day you want to start Austin Reeves. One day you want to start Ariza one day. Ariza is a fossil right now. I don't know why he's still playing.
Stanley Johnson just came from playing at the YMCA and starts.
And it starts. And why does he start? Because he gives what? Effort and hustle. Which means that no one else is doing that. If you could come off on a 10-day and start, nobody else is giving hustle on that team. Facts. And that means Vogel is not yelling at nobody neither. If you want to keep it a buck.
He gotta go.
Yeah.
Back him up.
I wouldn't be mad at that. Fizdale, I'm not mad at that. He could take over the reins. There won't be no drop off.
He smiled too much.
Who, Fizz?
Yeah.
Listen, when you got that lady, you gotta I'll smile too.
Right.
Hey,
right.
man. Fellas, before we get on out of here really quick, can we talk about the Knicks really quick? And what we see from Domo was laughing at what we see from Julius Randle, because man, the Knicks Twitter is in shambles right now. There's so many people that they want Randle gone. They want him traded. They're like, I'm sick of this dude. Get him off my team. Get him out of New York City. And you know what's crazy? I went to the Garden. I met his wife over there when I went to the Garden, and his kid, lovely wife, lovely kid over there. When we was down in the lounge, in like the suite lounge over there. But yo, man, when I look at Julius Randle right now, I don't like the body language I'm seeing from him, man. He looks like, you know, I don't want to go too far and say nothing crazy.
He's a big dude.
But you know, he looked like he's not feeling it right now. I'm a little disappointed.
You know what the Knicks need to start doing? When they bring in players that they about to get the bag to, or players that got the potential to, you know, be something, they need to sit them down and just watch a lot of Carmelo Anthony tapes.
Of what?
And his interviews and all that stuff. Because if there's anybody that you know handled
the New York
that
media.
handled the New York media better is Carmelo Anthony. I mean, because if you can't handle it, you can't take the heat, get out the kitchen.
Yeah, you can't play it.
Can't play it. And he already crying. What is his second year here?
Yeah.
He already crying?
Third year, right?
30 or
This is third year. Yeah, it's his third year. It's his third year. It's his third year.
Yeah.
This is third year. So third year here and you already crying? Come on, man.
And you got the bag here too. You had one of the best seasons of your career last year. All-star.
You know what I'm saying? And you supposed to be the guy. So why are you crying? Like, go in the gym and work on your game. Like, your game is, man, predictable. Like, everybody know you're gonna go left. You're gonna do a little stupid spin, try to lose the ball, try to pass it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just trying to play volleyball instead of working on your game. Like, you out there at the 3-point line. Yeah. Like, come on, bro.
See, that's one of my issues right there. He's at the 3-point line way too much, fellas. Even if you saw in that game last night against Memphis, he kept stepping back, trying to shoot a couple of step back threes. Even if there was a little bit of space that Triple J was giving him, he just needs to drive it in a little bit more. I know he's been trying to.
I think he thinks he's Lamar Odom or something.
Yeah, and you know, it's not like he lost his talent or anything like that. I mean, it's only from last year to this year. In the playoffs, the Hawks really got into his head. John Collins really got into his head that he shut him down, that he was a non-factor. Maybe, I don't know if something happened to him during the summer that really killed his confidence. Like, maybe New York Knicks fans were a little too crazy with him, I guess, during the summer, really blaming him for the loss. I guess maybe it really got to him that his heart hasn't been in the right place. But he actually started the season good.
It's the pressure. It's the pressure, man. Because
but he started the season all right,
No, but hold on, because before the season started, all the New York fans was talking all this hot stuff, all this noise about, they go New York, we here, blah blah blah.
New York, we here.
I was like, nah, y'all gonna fall right back down to earth.
And it's gonna be the time game.
The first 2 weeks,
it's gonna be the typical Knicks all over again. They got a little excited last year. You know, they should be happy that they made it that far and they was up there in the top 10.
Yeah.
But I knew they was going to fall back down because they're the Knicks. That's just what they do.
Shit.
The harsh words of Domo. I mean,
and then I don't know what the hell Tom Thibodeau was doing, because it's like, yo, you got Kimba. You wasn't giving him no minutes. You just got Ken Reddish. You're not giving him no minutes.
I think with that coaching staff, it's a little weird though, because I think OB don't get no chance to make mistakes. And then
he has a short leash.
And then quickly just be tossing up shit that don't make sense sometimes. And
step back
bad
threes.
times. And I'm like, how is this dude's leash so long? And then like Obi's probably like one of the most athletic dudes on the team that you should be grooming. Because you do got one of my old players, man. And it don't make sense. RJ came back with his game.
I like RJ this year. He's take a leap forward this year.
He should be the vocal.
He's actually gotten better.
Yeah, he's gotten a lot better.
Got a right hand. He's shooting better. Like
they should run the offense through RJ.
He looks confident.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you got quickly quick shots, it don't look good.
Quickly taking quick shots.
Yeah, and then the faith that they had in Kemba, who should be the calming factor for that offense.
Bruh.
They didn't even give him an opportunity to be the vet.
Yo, son.
And another French.
Yo, Just, man. Me and Reem tried to tell you, man.
Y'all are wrong, though. Y'all are still wrong. My man. Yo.
If Rose was healthy, he'd be the starting point guard over. We did say that.
Yeah, you did. No, you did. You 100% did say that. You know what? Because I asked y'all, will Kemba Walker be the MVP of the next season? And I said, yeah. Domo said, hell nah. And you said, no, it's D Rose. But D Rose has been hurt a lot of this season. So
no, you know it's a shame. The only bright spot right now for them, aside from RJ Barrett finally, excelling his game, the only bright spot is that kid. I think his name is Quentin Grimes or something like that.
Like him.
Grimes.
Shooter. Yeah, he's tough.
Yeah, that dude is nice.
He plays hard. He plays his role well, and
got a quick trigger. Woo.
Yeah, he's a good team, and he hustles. So
he needs a dermatologist though.
And yo, I don't know. I don't know if there's any hope for the Knicks right now. Because this season, I don't know if they could even make the playoffs. I mean, they're gonna try to make the playoffs, but I mean, I don't like the way they playing. They don't have the right spirit right now. They're talking about anybody on the team is available for the right price.
See, the problem with the Knicks losing at this point in time, the purpose of winning was trying to attract the big name.
Yes.
So
and establish a culture.
Yeah, so now it's retracting, and then the coaching staff, we're not secure with that. Any player is expendable. It's the same formula with what kind of drive players away from New York. And then the media don't add to it none.
Oh, they make it worse. They make it 100 times worse. And plus, because of those expectations that people had from last year, now it makes it even 10 times worse. Because if you think about it, last year, they really weren't a fourth place type of team. The talent that they had was not fourth place home court advantage worthy, which is why they got beat. So last year, talent-wise, they were about a 7th or 8th seed, in the East. And this year, they might be playing, they're playing a little bit below their talent level, but
the East did get better.
The East got better. Exactly. The East got better. So right now, they are as 8th place. I don't know, because the Celtics are in 9th. And to me, I think the Celtics are better than the Knicks.
Team.
The
Knicks.
So are they really a playoff team?
The Knicks better do what they're great at and just freaking tank.
Jesus.
Yo, they have another season to take.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. He got listen, your pop's gonna be pissed off right now. He had a nice season last year.
Man.
It's down the drain now, man. So is this season lost already for the Knicks?
Yeah, it's over.
Damn.
It's over. It was over from the beginning.
Damn, it's over already. Hopefully they get rid of Kemba before the trade deadline, which is so sad too. Such a big homecoming. Sad for my son. Tibbs is a clown. I'm sitting on that. Tibbs is a clown for benching my boy, and then hopefully Cam Reddish could get some minutes soon. We'll see. But they asked Tibb recently about his minutes, about Cam Reddish, and he was like, he hasn't earned them yet, and I don't know if I could find a spot yet in the rotation unless guys get hurt. So then I'm like, so what you trade for him for? What you trade for a lottery pick for if you're not even going to play him? No burn.
Yeah. And he's what they need. He's a big wing 3-and-D.
Exactly what they paid Fournier. What do you got? $80 million they gave to Fournier. What is Fournier?
I got him on my fantasy.
You got a couple of games though. He'll have a good 20.
If they play Boston 80 times a year,
he'll have a good game, right? Yeah, for real. So anything y'all want to get off y'all chest before we get on out of here, fellas? Anything y'all want to say, which y'all think is going to happen for the end of the season coming up? Anybody I think will get dealt by the deadline?
My only thing is just like, Reem, where your boy Zion at, man?
My boy, come on, I already told y'all, man, it's over for him.
Yo.
He about 400 pounds right now.
Is he going to play this year? Them beignets really got to him, yo.
I don't know what's going on with boy. There ain't no update on him, no video, pictures, nothing, man.
Nothing. They say he went to Portland to go train.
That's crazy.
And nobody has seen him since. I'm really disappointed in him. And
unless he come back 200 pounds, I don't know what we gonna see left of him.
Is it too crazy to say
bust?
I don't want to go that far yet. I'm not gonna go that far. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna disrespect. But I'm saying RJ was a better pick. Availability.
Availability is key.
And availability is key. But we know Ja's a better pick. That's why I ain't asking about Ja. But RJ,
it's tough. I'm not gonna jump out the window yet on that.
Okay.
I like him. I like what he does.
Who? Zion?
I like what he does. I just think that he needs some place where he's motivated, locked in, and basketball is first, second, and third.
Listen, you never know.
He's a talent.
Yeah, he is. Listen, you never know if he holding out right now to come over to the Knicks. And they get that trade going, that Duke connection.
And they got all three.
Yup. Now that would be something to watch.
But then you got to get rid of Tibbs because...
Yeah, you got to get rid of Tibbs. Give Randle over there to the Pelicans if they want him. Oh, we got Obi and Zion. Not a bad...
That's just what they need. Another lefty.
Listen, man.
You can't really rely on.
Listen, you know what the Knicks...
You can't really rely on. That's typical Knicks.
Yo, you know what the Knicks see? Bring Kurt Thomas back, man. Let me get a Marbury and Kurt pick and roll.
Can be.
For real though, Melo and Starbury were like one of the few Knicks players that was really here and thugged it out throughout all the scrutiny, yo.
Yeah, it's crazy.
A lot of players need to watch and learn from them.
Yeah,
before they come and play here.
Yeah, Melo definitely didn't get enough credit for how he handled the New York media. I would say that for sure, definitely. Yeah, man. I don't know. Hopefully, there might be some deals going into the deadline. I hope Ben Simmons is moved. I'm starting to think he won't get moved, but I'm praying that he is moved for Philly's sake because I want to see them get better towards the end of the season. So that's the only move I'm thinking would be a big one. I don't think they're going to move CJ. I don't see any real crazy moves happening this deadline. I think it's going to be noise though, but I don't know. I would hope they move Ben Simmons, man. I ain't gonna lie. I want that to happen.
That Rush trade sounds tempting. The Rush for Wall. But the only way I do that...
You think they will pull the... I think the Lakers...
The only way I would do that, right? If you sweeten up the deal. I give you THT. I give you THT, Russ, and that pick for
Wall?
Wall and Eric Gordon.
The Lakers can afford that, which they probably could.
She got 30.
I think the Lakers get better in that deal. Lakers get the better of that deal. Yes.
If you're gonna be forced to give it first,
I don't think they're gonna trade. I don't think they got the balls to trade him. Man, you know what that says? If you trade him mid-season, you did all that to get him. You can't even give him a whole year.
LeBron is 36, 37. He ain't got a whole year to give, bro.
Oh, but he brought him. To me, that's crazy. If they trade him mid-season. In the off season, I could see it happening. Whatever.
Shout out to the Brody, but it's time to go.
Yo, shout out to the Brody, man. Shout out to the low key. Brody has definitely gotten a lot of hate. Some of it unnecessary hate because it's the entire team too, not just him. But he's got to play better too.
Got to play better at home.
He's got to play better. Fellas, I appreciate y'all joining me as always. Appreciate y'all being here for another episode. Domo taking care of this remotely. Remo in studio.
Yo. The trifecta is back, man. Yo, Jav, Baylor, move over, man. The boys are back.
The boys are back in town. Family, man. That's what I'm talking about. This episode 172. And we at...